This is so fascinating. I'm hooked. I'm absolutely hooked in this, and I've got a lot of different ways that I want to go. The one way I want to start with is so the element of risk versus, well, not versus risk and R&D. So research and
Hmm.
development, that idea of going just outside your comfort zone and finding something. I'm finding that absolutely fascinating in our conversation because R&D, whatever industry you're in, it should be a package that you should be looking at for the next trend, the next wave, the next direction you're going
Yes.
into. But what you said about quarterly metrics, everyone is just thinking about the next quarter. They're not thinking about where the next trend is coming. What is the essence of risk? Why are companies, even with all of our experiences of the last 60 years of there is always a growing trend, there's always a new wave, and you have to keep on top of it or you could die. Why is that risk of R&D so suppressed in companies?
I think it is because as companies grow, the primary focus becomes earning money today and creating those short term returns so that the books look good, so that we can continue the growth trend that will keep our numbers moving in the right direction, that will then impact our stock prices positively, etc. And if you look at the trends across businesses, what we're finding today is that businesses are lasting for the lifetime of a business is much shorter today than it has been previously. Businesses are growing and then dying much faster than what we're used to. And Blockbuster is a
Yeah.
great example. They had a great
Yeah.
blip for whatever that time period of 10, 15, 20 years was from
Yeah.
VHS through DVD, and now
Mm.
they're gone. And they're literally just gone. Maybe there's the last
Don't think
Blockbuster, I
there's
think,
any. I
in
don't think there's
Oregon.
any left.
Yeah, exactly. Focusing on the now and ignoring the idea of longevity, effectively what you do is you limit your ability to the type of R&D, the type of innovation, the type of exploration, and ultimately the type of growth that will carry you beyond that short lifetime. And I don't have a great answer for why necessarily. Perhaps it's because as we look at how businesses and founders are growing today, they're getting enough. You look at
Mm.
unicorn type exits and you go, hey, if I can make $1 billion exit and walk away with a ton of money in my pocket in 5 or 10 years, why would I worry about extending that out so that my business lives 50 or 100 years, for example? And a lot of that comes down to the trend of, I think, not even a trend, just the realities of what it means to create an exit, for example. Founders today, when they create companies, are looking for the exit, either getting bought or getting to the point of IPO. And if you are looking for an exit, then you are inherently not going to be focused on longevity. You're not going to
Mm.
be
Mm.
thinking about what it means to build a legacy business that's going to last for a long time. And the reality is that starting companies is massively expensive, or at least it has been traditionally, in the way that we're seeing a lot of VCs encourage companies to grow, for example.
Mm.
And so the
Mm.
idea is that I need to take a bunch of money in to enable incredibly fast growth so that I can then take the money back out. And
Mm.
it's a huge shift from the way that companies started, where they were run by families generation after generation, for example, where the
Yeah.
entire purpose of building that business was to create a legacy, was to create longevity, was to create something that your children could then grow into and take over and carry on and
Mm.
hand off yet
Mm.
again. And those shorter lifespans of companies are almost a forcing factor into the world of near term returns and short lived organizations that are not focused on innovation and growth, but rather are focused on dollars tomorrow.
I could do a whole episode with you just about that whole concept because I'm now thinking it's all being driven by the CEO, the founder, the person, and if their exit plan is a major part of them starting their business. And I've had multiple people on this show who say when you start a business, you should be thinking about your exit before you've even started the business. And for me, as a business owner myself, I feel a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not in the tech space, I'm in the service industry. So it's a different model than a tech company that's growing and looking to then be bought or go to IPO. So it is a different model, but it saddens me in some ways that founders are thinking about how they can exit and not thinking about how they can grow their company, and it lasts 100 years rather than 5 years, gets sold, gets absorbed, broken up into lots of different bits. The bits the company likes they leverage and work with, and the bits they don't like they throw away. It saddens me that people's mentality is that. Maybe call me old fashioned, whatever you do, but let me finish my rant.